All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope for Tuesday, the 5th of January, 2021. We've got a lot going on, okay? Between today and tomorrow, the next 3 days, it's going to happen exact on the 6th. We've got Neptune perfect square to the nodes, something we've been talking about on the channel for a while here. Letting go of the past, moving toward the future. The past is the known aspects of life that collectively we have decided upon, that this is the truth, that this is the knowledge, that this is the knowing, that this is the way. And the South Node says, no, we must discover a new way. North Node is in Gemini. We must discover, we must look. We must look at both sides of the coin, okay? And Neptune being our planet of dreams, our imagination, our creativity, okay? In Pisces, this is how high can we go? How the spiritual connection with source energy, okay? And spiritually, this is saying, look, North Node's pulling us down this path of self-discovery. Your truth might not be my truth, right? What worked for that guru might not work for me. What worked for that yogi might not work for me. This meditation practice works great for you. That meditation practice might not work well for me. So this is about discovering what works best for us and not just taking somebody else's word for it. Not even mine. Don't listen to anything I say. We've got the moon moving into the early degrees of Libra, like at 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. About 4 o'clock in the morning, it's creating a trine over there to Saturn and a trine to Jupiter. Okay, Saturn at 2 degrees now, Jupiter at 3 degrees, almost 4, kind of pushing along here. Look at this. Look at the moon. All right, moon being our emotional needs, the reflection of the sun here in Capricorn. Okay, the nurturing moon is where? It's in the 7th house, Libra. Okay, this is about balance, balancing our emotions. Okay, so not only are we caught in these crossroads here of what life do we want to live, we must seek our own path, our own truth. North Node, septile to the moon. North Node, septile to the sun septile to the moon. Okay, so we have this fate and destined energy saying, look, there's answers, there's truth in the other. By being compassionate, by understanding what the other needs, by not being so cold, which these two energies can be cold. I'm a Capricorn. I'm not telling you that Capricorns are cold, but they can be. They can be more closed off as there's things to get done. These guys are focused on the future. We're focused on the future, and we've got stuff to do. We need to get things done. We need to make things happen. We can be as abundant as we need to be, okay? But we must bring this emotional balance into our lives, and Saturn is saying, step up your game. And this is about your public image, How are we defining ourselves? This is part of the Capricorn energy, the definition, right, of the third dimension, our reality. How are we defining ourselves on a daily basis? How are we defining ourselves to the public image, to the public eye, right? And if we're going and seeking our own path, going and doing our own thing, we're going to align with other people that are also on a same or similar path. Mars also septile here to the moon, right? There's so much fate energy happening here on Tuesday. It's quite interesting, especially early in the morning. Depending where you're at, this could be on Monday for you if you're somewhere else in the world. Either way, this is Mars at 29 degrees of Aries. I must seek my, I must go. I'm out of my shadow. I'm working. I'm doing my thing. I got to follow my own, and go toward what feels good for me and away from what feels bad for me. Also connecting here with the moon, okay? So this is about other people. So this is like, look, if I want to meet artists, I'm going to go to an art show, right? I'm going to define myself and go out and venture out into the world. If I want to meet yogis, I'm going to go to a yoga studio. If I'm going to meet, you know what I'm saying? Like, which path we want to go down, where do we want to head out, what are we seeking for, And this is what the response of the moon is telling us today, okay? But everything is saying, like, you have the strength and the courage and energy to go your own path, to go your own, right? The universe is like, you don't, like, it's like codependent energy is dissolving in this kind of a thing. And then we even have Chiron opposing, the moon here as the day moves on. Here we go. Oops, let me switch this to hours. There you go. You know, Chiron opposed the moon. So this is like, look, as other people are a reflection. I'm a reflection of you. You're a reflection of me, right? And by being compassionate, this is what the moon's all about, being compassionate, being caring, being giving, surrendering to the needs of others, surrendering to the needs of allowing balance into our lives. Not where we're so stubborn, stuck on our own path. I know this is paradoxical to what I just said, but this is also saying by not being so stuck in our own way, stuck in our own path, if we open up to look, in a certain sense, taking off the horse blinders, right? This Aries energy can be very direct. This, let's go fast now, you know. And here's another way to look at this. You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. Okay, so maybe there's a certain energy there that's saying, hey, what's the point of hurrying this or rushing this? Maybe this is saying, I need to connect with other people to determine the outcome of this, making sure the outcome, this is why that trine over there to Saturn is very powerful, because it's like our future relies on this, and how we structure this energy, how we're structuring that emotional moon and that connection with the other person, you know? So we can build, this is like that kind of energy where we build communities. You know, I'm seeking, I want to go do this, my Mars, let's go, let's move in this direction, North Node, I want to seek my own truth. I'm not going to, you know, if I want to go see this show or go to this thing or whatever it may be, you know, it's my will, my ambition. Okay. Now on the other side, you know, if you're partnered up and it's just like my will says go this way and this person doesn't want to do it, well, that's an honest conversation we need to have. You know, do I balance? It's all about balance, you know, the balance and the equilibrium, that finding that fulcrum point in our own lives. Do we not do what we want to do because the other doesn't want to do that? Or do we simply allow the other to be and do what they want to do and continue to go do our own thing? And if that brings disconnect, then that brings disconnection. And if we choose to stay here, and this is up to us, if we choose to stay with that other and compassionate and empathetic, to stay and doing what they desire and not the thing that we desire doing, that is our decision. You know, when we talk about the moon and the sign of Cancer, we can talk about this aspects of martyrdom. Well, I stayed home and did this for you because you did. Like, you could have gone out. You could have gone and followed your heart, but you chose to stay here with me. Don't hold that on me now, right? So when that turns around, okay? So it's a lot going on. But, you know, ultimately what the astrology is saying is there's a nudge to just explore, you know, explore. And then let's come back here. Today's moving on. Let's move forward a couple hours here. Now, starting to get a square to the sun. Oh, well, that technically doesn't happen until, sorry, the 6th. But either way, we're going to be feeling that square to the sun. Okay? We're going to start to feel that as the sun, again, is all about, this is me, my definition of myself. And once again, I can only, you know, as much weight as I lift is as much exercise as I'm doing. As much breath as I can pull into my lungs is the capacity to what I can breathe. Nobody can do this work for me. No one can emotionally release something for me. Nobody can, how do you say this as well? You know, it's like the sun in Capricorn is the definition of yourself. And your own sense of authority, your own, how you govern yourself on a daily basis, how you govern yourself in the community, how you're seen to the public, okay? And if we are to, you know, this is an interesting thing, and this is where the Capricorn energy can feel cold. And if we're so lenient because we're being overly compassionate about something, where do we let things slide? Oh, okay, you get a slap on the wrist and you go to jail for life. The same crime. How do we, you know, how do we find the balance of that? No, you know, it's like, no, this is this, and You know, is that making sense? It's like there's a a punishment for every crime kind of a thing. So where are we lenient with this person on this end, but not lenient with this person on the other side? You know, and it's just like the moon's saying we have to bring balance to this. What makes sense is what will make sense. And it's like something that oddly comes to mind right now is strangely enough, it's like I know for a fact there's a gentleman in the 1980s that was arrested and put away for a life sentence for I think 3 doobies. 3 doobies, you know, and now the same people that sell your pain pills are pharmaceutical companies that are in the weed game, that have pounds and pounds and pounds, you know. So it's interesting, you know, that they're the supplier is now legal, but the ramifications for the person in prison is still in prison. Oh, because it's federal laws and it's this and this. It's like, well, how can this is not equal. This is not equal. You know, so there's an emotional surcharge right now of saying we need to have balance going on here. If you can, you know, if you can sell this as a company, then why is this person in jail? You know, I feel like that analogy is almost better than anything that I'm going to say in this comparison. You know, things have to be equal in how we govern ourselves and we govern our communication, how we govern the balance of the heart, which is the emotional moon, right? This is matters of the heart. So this is our Tuesday. It's all about balance. Balancing the past with balancing the present and balancing the future. If we're so focused on the past, this is depression. If we're so focused on the future, it's anxiety. And if we're just so focused on the present, once again, there's no preparation or planning. And early in the morning, the moon connecting with Saturn and Jupiter in that trine is saying, no, you have to figure out, you know, it's if you haven't packed your bags for vacation, you're going to miss your flight. If you haven't finished cleaning any of the dishes, well, when it's time to make a meal, you have nothing available for you. So there's a sense of preparation and planning as well. You know, it's maintaining balance. And I think that's part of what this energy is. And as the sun's starting to square, I think that's the energy that we're moving into on Wednesday is maintaining that balance. Because when we maintain the balance, it's like the dips of the valleys and the highs, the feel goods and those lows of depression, you know, which that Capricorn energy exists. It's the depths of the valleys and the peaks of the mountaintops. Okay, and Libra wants everything right here. No, there's not a whole lot of high, not a whole lot of low. It's got to be evened out. You know, even Steven. Balance. All right, my friends, that is our day. Balancing our highs, balancing our lows, and letting the past be the past, letting the future be the future, letting the present be the present, and understanding that the past defines who we are. Our ambitions for the future define who we are, but what we're doing in this present moment to balance the past and the future is the key. I like that ending. All right, my friends, you have a beautiful day, as always. We'll see you tomorrow.